All right, guys. Think I got this going here again. Give me a second. Hmm. I might have screwed this up, so you guys might be in another link. I think I have to delete the other event. All right, good, guys. I think we're on. All right, so as everyone's aware, the ballots for the mail last night was a debate. The debate is now loaded up on the district council websites. If anybody wants to see it, it's a good opportunity to get on there and get an idea about the candidates. And while we're at it, I had a couple of people that grabbed me to the side last night afterwards, and they brought up some interesting stuff to me. One thing was about the apprentices. Apprentices were telling me that a lot of these apprentices, when they come in, I tell you, it's a big problem with a lot of apprentices. They're very intimidated, especially when they get in this industry. If we could all look back in life when we were younger, and some of these kids don't have the street smarts, not to insult them, that we had when we were younger, but even something as simple as filing for unemployment. Some of these apprentices are telling me kids don't even understand how to navigate through the system to get that done. So maybe we can put together a type of format. I think I'm going to do it myself, so they have the IT number from the paycheck stub and give these kids an idea. The council should be doing something like that. If I'm elected, that'll be one of the things I get going right away to help our apprentices, you know, get something rolling with that. All right, guys, you could send me out some questions if you want. I'm going to hit on a couple of topics here, some stuff that was brought to my attention. And I'm going to kick it right off, guys. The gloves are off now. We're at the bottom of the line here. They tried to attack me and say, well, not really me, but, my slate, saying that, we're not qualified to do the work, which, guys, anyone who knows me, I've dealt with contractors, developers my whole career. I got a friend of mine who's the chief estimator for Skanska. Now he's the vice president of Skanska. I had a thing trying to work that with him to meet with the council. They blew it off. I don't know why they blow an opportunity like that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But Joe has his issues when he didn't want to do business with people. But I guess he's not worried about it. So listen, to get to the skits about what they want to talk about, right, guys? What are the major issues here? Stuff you want to ask yourself, guys. Like I applied for a teaching job down at the school, and they didn't give it to me. Now I was told by people down there that I was the most qualified person that ever applied for the job. But politics plays a part of it, so I wasn't hired there. Once again, it's just an example that we're not hiring the most qualified people for the work. And the other way I'm going to break it up to you is like, guys, let's look at the fact. You got L.A., Boston, Chicago, Detroit, San Diego. None of these cities have 70-story buildings going up right now, non-union. Not one of them, okay? Meanwhile, we have a 70-story building in every borough going up, non-union in this city. So then ask yourself, why is it? Is it because our leadership don't hire the most qualified people for their position? Because that's the only thing that works up in my head, right? They're saying I'm not qualified. Compared to them, anyone's qualified. How do we lose the market share so bad? These other major cities don't have it. They're not having the same problems we're having. That tells me one thing and one thing only, guys. The jobs aren't getting done right. That means we don't have the right people doing the fucking job. It's simple, guys. Listen, you don't have to like me. I'm not asking you to be my buddy. But I'm telling you one thing. If you want to survive in this industry, if you want to have an opportunity for retirement and medical and have the promises that were put in front of us, then you got to vote for me, guys. They're jerking us off. They lied to us in the last election. They lied to us there. They want to talk about their qualifications like Paul Caperso. What are Paul's qualifications? He was put there, handpicked. These guys didn't earn what they have. Everybody was put there because of Lawrence DeRico and Paul's uncle. That's how they got these jobs. They weren't there looking and coming in. Absolutely not. I'll put my resume up against any one of them on qualifications and in connections to contractor developers because the work speaks for itself, guys. Look around the city. When I started in this industry, no high-rise building was going non-union. You're telling me we're down to 16,910 members, and that's including the members that are in bad standing because I had to fight the fact to get those get those members the right to have a ballot mailed to them. Why are they fighting? What's the secret, guys? Why all these non-disclosures? Ask yourself a question. Why are they doing that? Why is everything a secret? Listen, if Dave Caraballoso spent as much time going after the non-union work as he does chasing skirts down at the council, the guy got caught lying on his timesheet for over a year, lying on his timesheet, lying so he could hang out with his girlfriend. And that's not an issue for anybody? That's not an issue for anyone. All the problems that happened at that building, all the non-disclosure that was fined, all the bullshit that was done to put the B rate in that program that screwed our apprentices. I have apprentices right now that are turning B rate carpenter that cannot work in a prevailing rate job. You're tying these kids' hands. It's ridiculous. We put kids and you're bringing them into the 212 local. Dave Caraballoso talks about the line of apprentices lining outside the building. His local has 2 jobs going. 2 jobs. You put 30 apprentices into a local that has no work. And then you tie these kids' hands and they can't even sign the other list. They can't do ceilings and drywall and hardware and woodworking like I did growing up. We got a shortage of woodworkers. But you lock these kids into a barrel and then you turn out, well, they want to get it. They have no idea what they're signing up. And when someone like him is running the operation, he's like, he's the made guy. Dave has like 11, 12 years in the business. Dave was working down here. They used to call him Dopey Dave for a reason, okay? Eddie McWilliams used to call him Ask Around. That was his nickname, Dopey Dave, okay? Well, Dopey Dave spends more time chasing skirt than he does going after the work, period. Bottom line, if he spent more time doing that, we wouldn't have all our guys that are work, okay? He's in a meeting. He tells his guys he's not responsible for looking for work for the guys. Then who is? Who is, Dave? Who is supposed to be looking for the work? Tell me, all right? Tell me what you're doing for the membership, all right? What's your plan, Dave? What's your plan? Obviously, you're screwing it up, right? You're following along with fucking Paul, because every fucking city, I got guys calling me for like, Mike, ask me why it's not happening in the city. Good question, guys. Why isn't it happening? You're telling me Tommy Flynn's got it figured out up in Boston, but we can't get it figured out in New York? So who was the problem? Was Joe the problem? Because we know Paul was pulling the strings behind Joe. Okay? We know Joe was a hat rack. Joe spent just as much time on workers' comp as the rest of them. That's another thing, guys. You don't realize that these guys have unlimited comp time. You know how many of these guys have an accident or an injury right around the holidays or the summertime and right around their cruises and vacations? Tommy McEwen, Joe Geiger, naming a few of them. Tommy King. Tommy King was that, God knows how long he was out on comp. But he was showing up at the golf outings, able to swing a golf club, but he wasn't able to show up to work. All on the member's back. Where was he doing his job? Where was the scaffolding, guys? All that scaffolding went away. Oh, now we're looking into the PLAs? What was going on the whole time, Paul? Ask yourself that question. Paul, I called you numerous and numerous times. Yeah, you did your job. But the question is, where were the guys out there that were supposed to be doing the job? I'm out running work, and I'm supposed to be taking care of these business agent jobs that are supposed to be doing their job? Listen, giving out turkeys and book bags, don't cut it. It don't put our guys to work. It don't put food on the table. Our members are sweating right now. You think that these members, do you think these council guys have a clue what it's like for you guys on an out-of-work list? Do you think they know what it's like that when you go into a job and having to just get a break, just to get a break, the contractor should bring you out there just to use you as a mule, get the job catched up, hand you a layoff check, and the boys get to stay? How many of these women I talked to, I put a girl on a job, she's finally excited she's on a job where they're actually treating her like a human being, you know? And I thought to myself, it felt good she called me, but then I got angry. I go, why is that girl got to tell me that? Why is she telling? Why is it every job treating her like that? Why doesn't someone pull it to the side? You got a young apprentice on a job. Why don't we? What happened to the point where these foremen and these? Where did they get the right to abuse our apprentices? And why do we stand there and allow it? Okay, guys. When I taught a class, someone taught me a trick one time, and I did it. You do a little demonstration. You get someone in the classroom, you sit them down, and you stage her or the guy up in it, and you start yelling at them in the classroom, and you throw them out of the classroom, and you stand there and watch everyone's expression and see if anyone backs you up. And most of the time, people don't, because people keep their head down. But it shouldn't be like that, okay? If we stick together and we fight this, they don't own this. They don't own this. Who the hell are they? Who the hell do you think these guys are? You think Paul was put in there as a teacher, right? I heard his little tricks, walking around, breaking the ceiling. But he wasn't, what do you think, they just found him on the street? No, because his Attilio was his uncle. That's why he got the job. That's the reason why. A lot of these guys he put in one component were guys he handpicked, bypassing lists, right? What about all those kids with this lawsuit that waited online, followed the fucking rules, guys, followed the rules, stood online, waiting for an opportunity to join the Carpenters Union, right? They wanted the same opportunity that we all had. And what happened? Dave and Paul worked up a scheme to backdoor guys and a thing. And now we have a lawsuit pending. And we're probably going to end up with a monitor in the school. Because it sounds like what I'm hearing from my end, that's what's going to happen. Because they talk about the corruption's gone. They're just covering it up even better. Don't think that McGordy's got everything figured out. McGordy's they're going into court on November to get rid of this thing. He finally admits last night that the stipulation order consent decree is gone. Finally. He finally woke up. He's going to admit it. But don't worry. We're going to do the right thing by you guys. Did they do the right thing at the last election? Fuck no. They turned around and went to all you shop stewards and said, fuck you guys. You put in your 30, 40 fucking years. Now you can't be a steward. What the hell? Why not? What, we don't want good stewards out in the job? What are we trying to hide, guys? What's the problem there? Then we turn around and we sneak in the drywall thing with no roll call vote. They sneaked that in because they knew they couldn't control the room and they didn't want to put anyone in a spot. So they took the dead man walking, which was Mike Rodin, because he got jammed up with the hanging out with the mobster at the golf outing again. So he was out the door. They knew it. They knew he was done. So what did they do? They used him to freaking certify the deal. But in that same breath, what do they do to the apprentices? Now they screw these apprentices over, right? Now they extend the apprentices program. Listen, even the non-union B-rate guy, when he comes in, his hours from the outside count. What about the hours for the kids in the school, Paul? Why don't those hours count? Now you're going to do something? Now you're going to wake the fuck up and do something. Now you're going to do your job. Well, thank you, Paul. I love to see the fact that after your 30 years in the council, now that we're down to 16,000 members, right? Now that we're down to 27% market share, now you're going to hold people accountable. Now you're going to come out and say, oh, well, if the consent decree goes, we're going to sit down with the new stipulation order and write, yeah, now you're doing exactly what I said. One man, one vote. But you know what, Paul? I don't fucking trust you. I don't trust you, Paul, and no one else fucking does. We know you're full of shit, okay? We know you're a fucking scam artist, all right? Listen, we've caught you. Jerry Guzman caught you in a fucking lie. I've caught you in a lie. Guys at the council caught you in a lie. People in the building think you're a fucking asshole, bro. The communication lady wants to quit because she can't fucking stand you. Paul, we know who you are. We know it. Stop fucking lying. Admit you're an asshole, okay? I can agree with it. I don't say you don't do your job in some cases, but you don't have the balls to make people do their fucking job. And that's where you failed us. That's why we got 70-story buildings up in the building. There's a reason why, Paul, and you're the reason. And now you want us to give you another 4 years? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? We're going to trust you to sit down with the international? They're going to seal us with a stamp. We'll be done. Just like happened in the rest of the country. Okay? Because you let it all fall apart. Someone's got to be held responsible for this. We know you haven't done it. You had your chance, bro. You were put in there. What special talent do you really have, Paul? Tell me what your talent is. Because I'm dying to know. We're all fucking want to know. Everywhere I turn around, there's non-union work everywhere. Everywhere I go. Oh, you're going to fix it. You're going to fix it. When, Paul? When? You got a guy at the council that lied on his timesheets for over a year, and he's still fucking there. If I was the EST, guess what? If it was my best friend, if it was my brother, he'd be out the fucking door. No exceptions. Listen, when you get up every day and you're a steward and you're a guy and you're in this industry, you take on the responsibility for the members and their families. And you don't take that lightly, Paul. And what you did was a fucking disgrace. How dare you sit there with all the stuff that went on with McGinnis and the sexual harassment of the women down there, and then you talk about a lawsuit that was filed? Where were you, Paul, as the president? Where were you to defend these women that were hired down there? You talk about the delegate body, you lied to everyone about the PAC fund. The PAC fund's a fucking disaster. That super PAC is nothing but a ticking time bomb. You're getting indicted over it. We all know it. The FBI is investigating it, Paul. We know it. The reporters are on it. I know the people that are giving evidence against it. We have the people testifying from the school. You can't lie. It's all coming in, Paul. It's all coming in. The waves are coming from both sides. You know it and I know it. So what are you trying to sell your deal out so you can sell us to the international and you can walk into the way in the sunway with a bigger bag of money? You already got your 3 pensions. You had your 30-year run. You didn't get it done. You buried us along the way. Someone's responsible, Paul, and it's you. You're right. You've been there for 30 years and what have you done for us? Nothing, bro. You're nothing but a fucking, you're nothing but a double talker. And then you had the balls when Paul brought bullshit fucking charges against me. You wanted to throw me out of the fucking union? Why? Because I told the members the way it was? I told the members when they were getting screwed over what was going on. You don't want anyone knowing. That's why you sign these non-disclosures. That's why you bury stuff. Dude, you had a steward up at the Javits Center. He got caught stealing. What do? You don't suspend him as a steward. You hire him as a fucking business agent. Am I right? Is that out of your fucking mind what you did, Paul? That's ridiculous. And that's on your watch? While we have a monitor? While we have an IG? This shit's all going down? Guys, what do you think is going to happen when the consent decree is gone and there is no reason to go to anyone else? That stipulation order doesn't have any to back us up. They're getting away with murder now on us. What do you think is going to happen? Listen, I'm pissed over this, and I should be, all right? I'm third generation of this business. This business supported my entire family, okay? I'm a city carpenter. I'll have my medical, guys, okay? I work my life. This is for the next generation. I want you kids out there to understand they don't own this business. It belongs to you. It belongs to everyone. It don't belong to me. It don't belong to Paul. It don't belong to Joe Geiger, Adam Hawkins, or definitely not Dave Cavaloso. You have a right to fight for your local. You have a right to fight for your members, all right? Don't let these guys think that they control everything. Don't let them intimidate you. They're all just carpenters, too. Half of them half the guys at that council couldn't find themselves a job. You want to put them in a building and tell them to go find you work? They can't keep themselves employed. Half these guys are lazy as can be. They were skating around. And the other half of them, they were out there when they were handpicked and put on jobs, taking care from their buddies. Half these guys never even put their name on an out of work list. They don't know what it's like to struggle and look for a job like we have. They don't know what it's like to get on a job and try to perform and make a name for yourself like we have. But then again, they're going to turn around and tell you who's qualified to do the job and who's not qualified. Well, clearly it's not them. We got 27% of the market. We're not patrolling the PLA work that we have. Why sign PLAs if we're not going to do a job? It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. You have Mandy Flukes in charge of NYCHA. Everyone knows he's an idiot. Paul himself wanted to fire him because he was incompetent. But he stuck him around. Why? Because favors and deals. Listen, you're right, guys. I get down there, there's no favors and deals, guys. You're going to perform, you're going to do your job, or you're going to be out the fucking door, just like everyone else. Listen, I want a happy and fun work environment. I don't want to be a tyrant. I don't want to break guys' balls. I want everyone to do their job. I'm not a minute man. I'm not a guy saying, oh, you're 3 minutes late to work. Not that. I want to see performance out of people. I'm a fair person when it comes to it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be out in Costco loading your car with food, headed down to the Jersey Shore while you're on council time. I get caught you doing that, you're out. You're out. You'll have plenty of time at the Jersey Shore because you won't be working under my fucking watch. Won't happen. And that's the way you got to do it as a leader because we have a responsibility to the membership and their family and their children. This is a serious, serious matter, guys. Listen, I don't mean to be cursing and screaming and going nuts, but I had enough of this stuff. I had enough of people trying to say who's qualified and who's not. Because if anyone wants to debate me on that, I'll go up against him all the time. Paul wants to double date. He felt like he was being cornered last night and that I was attacking him. Listen, I wasn't attacking him. I can attack him if he wants to be fucking attacked. Dude, he made his bed, not me. He made these deals. I used to support Paul. I thought Paul was doing the right thing. I thought these guys were doing it. But then little by little, I realized, you know what? They're pulling the wool over our eyes. So when I realized one day that they were jerking us off, I was done. Because I'll say it like it is, just like I'm saying it now. One thing about me, guys, I don't talk behind people's backs. You got a problem with me, you're going to see it right from my fucking face. I'll tell you right to your face what the problems are. Listen, like I said, guys, You think they have any clue what it was like for us out there? Do you know what it's like to come off an out of work list and bust their asses at it? They don't give a shit. Meanwhile, they got these huge salaries. They're setting themselves up for retirement with these other deals that they're cutting with people that are running like pharmacies and stuff after their retirement. It's an embarrassment. I got a guy from 212. He made less than $40,000 last year. How's he supposed to support his family like that? You know? Guys, these are serious problems, man. And you know what? We better wake up. We got listen. These guys are gaslighting us. They're jerking us off. And you got a couple of the millions that are running around from 926, barking up a storm. And that they want to talk about putting an extra check. If a carpenter puts an extra check in the box, that's their argument, guys. That's what you really want to talk about. Whether a guy put an extra check. Listen, the vote counts either way, guys. As long as you talk in the box, circle the box. Put whatever you want to do to the box, just mark the bottom line, mark it Mike Power for EST, mark it Charles Bork for president and Margaret Dougie O'Grady for VP, and I guarantee you're going to see results. We're not playing around, guys. I'm not coming into that building. I will be there every day, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, every single day. And I will watch everyone who comes in. And I will, listen to me, we're going to cut costs. We're going to cut corners. Because if I can cut corners and get another organizer, that'll be a real organizer. And I'm going to set up a database that we're supposed to have, and we're going to start logging this information so we're not redoing the same work again. I want to track these contractors and the supers and people who work for them. I want to know when they show up at another job site. I want to know who I'm dealing with. We got to go after every aspect of this work. I just talked to someone who's getting work now that they're doing stuff with private school industries. There's other work out there, guys. There's other money we could tap into. The bottom line is nobody wants to do their job, right? This isn't about swinging a golf club and going out to Vegas every weekend, guys. This is embarrassing what they're doing. But listen, the work that I did back in the day with McDonald's, the stuff that I set up with Commerce Bank, which is now TD Bank, and the stuff that I did with Starbucks speaks for itself. They told me what I couldn't do. I was the one feeding that stuff to Eddie McWilliams. I was the one feeding that stuff to Jerry Matthews. And I did it. I didn't look for any type of reward for it. I didn't care. It put our members to work, and that's all I cared about. But don't you dare come to me and say, I'm not qualified to do this job. Because clearly, who the hell are you to do it, right? I tell you right now, I know enough that if a guy got caught lying on his timesheet for over a year, I don't need any special talent to know that guy doesn't work for me no more. All right? So bottom line, guys, listen to me. I'm going to calm down on this. I don't want to be screaming and yelling at you all on this phone, in this video like this. But this election's important, all right? They lied in the last election. They're lying to us again, okay? They told you in the last election that I had a non-union company, right? Then they make up other stories that I assaulted some fucking girl or something like that. Or I don't know what the fucking bullshit story they make up. Anything you could do, but then when I go back at people because they make the derogatory words and call me a thief and said I stole stuff with no evidence and no proof, never happened, guys. Brian Brennan never stole any material. When they talk about that I worked for Health and Hospital back in the day, I was 23 years old. Believe me, I had real estate up the ass. I had plenty of money. I wasn't stealing anything, guys. I was living the life of luxury back then. But that's how they do. They want to attack your character with false statements. That's how they want to come after you. They want to come after you and make these little innuendo things and come at you over nonsense. That's what they want to come at. Oh, you checked the wrong box. You checked the wrong box on a ballot. Really, guys? That's what you're worried about? I got guys that got foreclosure letters on their houses. Guys that their cars got repossessed. I got guys out there with family and kids that have no medical coverage. But that's what they want to. They want to convince you that's what the important stuff is. Just like, oh, we got shop stewards working through lunch. They sent 3 IGs up the other day to Charles Bullock's job. Three IGs because he took a half a day and he went down to the tax thing. And they were trying to see if the contractor paid him. He already put in, he didn't get paid for that. He did it in his own time. Charles goes out of his way. I never met a more honorable guy in this industry, I'll be honest with you. And everyone knows I don't talk no shit. The guy turned around and he puts his time, he runs the state to the trade thing, and he does it with barely any resources, on his own time and his own money. The guy, I don't know how the guy puts in the energy and time he has all this stuff. They sent 3 IGs up to the job. 3 IGs up to the job. That's because that's the crime of the century. God forbid, Charles left the job and went down to a tax thing to go talk to the guys. Oh, he got paid. We had an anonymous tip. Are you kidding me? 3 IGs went up there? That's what they did? And then they questioned, oh, you got to call into a BA. Then they realized the job didn't have any business agent. No business agent assigned to the job. Can you believe it? No business agent assigned to the job. How did that happen, Paul? Whose watch was that under Anthony Medeo, regional manager? What's going on, guys? Are you able to do your job? Do you want me to come down and help you? Give me a call. I'll come down and show you how it's done. Listen, guys, all your decisions affect a lot of people, guys. The games are over, man. We gotta focus on the members. We gotta put the members first. We gotta put their families first. We gotta work with these apprentices. We gotta help show them how to network and find work on themselves. This out of work list is a joke, guys. They know it. They're gonna starve if they're on that list. These kids are looking to jump ship, and I can't blame them. If I was 20 years old, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I'd stick around in this industry. And it's sad because it's been great to me. But it doesn't look great for the future. Not on the tracks we're going on. Something's got to change. Someone's got to be held accountable. We deserve transparency. Everything shouldn't be a secret. Everything shouldn't be a non-disclosure, Paul. Speak the facts. What are you hiding from? Huh? What are all the secrets about? I don't know. It's embarrassing. But anyway, guys, listen. The important part is we have an opportunity here, and we're one of the lucky councils in this country. We're the only council that votes for its leadership. That is it. The rest of them don't. It's the delegate body who does it. They get control. They're all puppet masters, bro. They'll all be pulling the strings, and it'll be out the door. You think things are bad now? They'll be 10 times worse then. They'll be merging us and merging us and merging us and merging us. And you won't even know who the hell you're talking to. Head down and go to work and be lucky. They'll be picking their own stewards on job sites. You guys think the out-of-work list, everything changes, guys. They call the shots. They call the shots, and that's what they're looking for. They didn't hire Barbara Jones for no other reason, guys. She's there to get rid of the consent decree. So they got the reins of it. Listen, they're driving it into the ground now. Do you know what they're going to do when they have a full tank of gas? Forget about it, guys. Listen, half you guys wouldn't be shop stewards out there if you wouldn't have had the opportunity back in the day. These consent decrees, these regulations give you that opportunity. And we have to make sure whoever does that final stipulation in order is going there in good faith with the government and making all that stuff mandatory in the final stipulation order. The one man, one vote, the right to be a steward, the training involved in it. We got to keep it there, guys. We can't go backwards. We can't. And if you look around the country, that's what a lot of these guys do. These guys don't have a say anymore. These locals are all split up. Some guys have to drive 80 miles, they said, to get to a meeting. They don't even bother going anymore. And listen, what's the art of war, guys? Right? Divide and conquer. That's the game, right? It's the art of war. Divide and conquer. Split us up, right? Social media is one of the best things that ever came up. It gave us an opportunity. You know how hard this would have been to reach out to all you guys and get this message apart? I'd have to send out flyers and talk to people, but now it's right here. You guys are all seeing it, right? And listen, if I can't be the only one who's upset. Listen, I can't be the only one that it bothers that the guys I work with that put the time in, the guys that got arthritis in their hands and they're getting one of my buddies had to get a shot in his back there that he could barely walk. Guys like that have to worry about losing their medical for their family? Or guys like, oh, he's going on Medicare. What about his wife? What about his wife? The average member, I was sat on a medical board with Mike Ford back in the day. He put me on something. And I learned all about how the medical works, the belly button count, and we need 2.2 guys working for every one guy retired. And the average wife is 7 years younger than the guy retiring, so you're carrying the wife for 12 years. That guy put that time in. He did these 38 years, 40 years in the business. You're telling me he doesn't have a right to have medical for his wife and kids? That's wrong, guys. That's wrong. And you're telling me they can get it right in San Diego, Boston, Chicago, but we can't get it right here? Why is it, guys? Ask yourself that question. Is it because we don't have the most competent guys doing the work? That's the question. I watched it at the school. We hired the wrong people, right? Everyone's seen it. It's an embarrassment. You know, how did we fall so far? Listen, there used to be pride in being a union carpenter. Now a lot of these guys have just had it out there. And I hope this vote shows it. I hope guys come out in force and really, really set the margin. And that's all I can ask for you guys is, listen, I did my part, guys. This isn't easy, all right? These last two elections, let me tell you, I didn't take a penny for anyone. Everything in this election came out of my pocket. I didn't go down to the school and solicit people and shake guys down at work at the council like they had the opportunity for $200 or $300 or $500 a person. That wasn't me. I wasn't going to come to you guys and ask you to give up money when I know times are tough. Okay, I paid it out of my pocket. I worked extra overtime. I do my side work, and I made that money. I took it out of that money. Listen, I got dogs I rescue. I got my wife my fiance wants to go out to dinner. But I took that money that I knew, and I said, "This is important. Let me run," because I wanted to make sure to myself, and I thought about this good and hard. All right, and I knew I'd get the character attacks, and I get the threats. I got a death threat in the car one day. I get it. I knew that was going to be part of it. But where does it stop, guys? Where's the democracy? Where is the part where I can at least don't we have a right to have someone else run, or should they just be able to dictate it and just put who they want there, and it's their way or the highway? Or should we? Because look what happened to me. Look what happened. I got brought up on charges. You guys don't have the resources I have. I'm going to dinner tonight with one of my friends who has a huge law firm. You don't have that. I have those resources. The average member doesn't. These guys are like, fuck it, I'm not going to bother. And that's what will happen. And that's what they're counting on, guys. They'll break you down to you be like, whatever, I'm done. So we can't let that happen, okay? Listen, unions are fought because guys wanted protection and guys wanted a voice. And everything was fought by, you have to fight for it. If it's worth having, you got to fight for it. I'm asking you guys to fight for it. So listen, if you don't want to put yourself in a line of fire, I get that. So all you guys have to do is take that ballot, vote the bottom line, vote stop the merge, stop the steal, Carpenters for accountability, and give me the opportunity to do exactly what you need to be done to protect your future and your family's future. That's all I'm asking for, all right? Listen, once again, everybody, I thank you for your time. I thank you all for what you do for this industry and this organization. I know it ain't easy, and I just ask you to hang in there. And I will promise you, if I get in there, we'll get some networking programs together. I'll sit down and talk to you guys about stuff that's worked for me before and how to shape work and how to get things together. We'll work on other opportunities about starting your own businesses on the side, as far as like doing like laundromats and stuff like that, and get ideas. A lot of people came to me with some little ideas about starting a business, and I gave them information with my accountant. I gave one of my attorneys that was helping them out with filling out an S corp, setting an S corp in their business to do something on the side. One lady's asked me about starting a babysitting business. It's actually one of our members' wife that's actually looking for that, and I actually gave her a little point towards something with a grant that I found from somebody. But these are little things like member services. We should be doing that for our members. We should be trying to think outside the box. And I think if you show that type of a passion and you try to help people on other factors, or at least point them in the right direction. I helped a girl out the other day with her resume. I had a CEO for the hospitals fill out her resume for her, change it around and give her like a pointers and certain things she should take, because she went to school for psychiatry, and I was trying to get her to straighten out. So I actually spoke to the CEO of Health and Hospitals, because I was actually doing work in his main office. I did crown mold and everything, and he helped me out. Really nice guy. But that's what we do, guys. It's networking. It's meeting people. And when you get when you have this type of stuff, you share it with your friends. You share it with your brothers and sisters. You make their lives easier. You don't sign non-disclosures. You don't sneak behind back doors and whisper in each other's ears. It's wrong, guys. It's disgraceful. You can't call yourself a brother or sister if you're doing stuff like that. We could better than that, and I know we could be better than that. So let me go, guys. I'm headed out to dinner, so I hope this wasn't too much of ranting and raving, but it's got to get done, right? We got to get these ballots back. Tomorrow's the 16th. You can look on my site. I'll post again later today. Starting tomorrow, if you haven't received your ballot, there'll be information on there on an email you can email and a phone number you could call. It'll be active tomorrow. And if you haven't got a ballot, they'll send you another one, all right? If you got a ballot and you're still in bad standing, you have to pay your dues by the 25th. Otherwise, that vote will not count. And please, don't let your vote be the vote that keeps this leadership in power. Because if you're not sure, you think it doesn't matter to you, think about your brothers and sisters. Think about that young apprentice out there. Think about that young woman out there, that single mother with her 2 kids at home that need her medical coverage, that needs an opportunity to get to a job. Listen, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for them, all right? That's all I can ask you. Sometimes I've always found, like, when things are tough in life, don't focus on yourself, because everything will work out. It always does, all right? But if you focus on other people and you try to help other people, you start to realize that, as long as you got your health and things are good, and I don't need a lot of things in life. I don't need fancy cars. I don't really keep that stuff. I was like that when I was younger in life. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. You get me a lawn chair and a couple of beers and some friends to tell jokes to, I'm as happy as anyone else. But if you can help the guy next year, and believe me when I tell you, it makes your problems go away. You trust me when I tell you that, because people get stressed out. And listen, I love this industry, and I'm not ready to throw in the towel. So I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here for you guys, but I'm just asking for an opportunity to make a difference, and then to give me the tools I need to push us forward and get us out of this slump we're in, and give me the tools that I need to put you guys to work and keep you working and help you build your careers and give you more opportunities. All right, guys. Have a good night, and talk to you soon.